The period when you were the CEO of Jaeger-LeCoultre was, to me, the most extraordinary period in innovation in the watch industry. The relentless pursuit of technical innovation, the incredible artistry, it was amazing. You're now reunited with what I believe is your first love. I was told that if you could harness the power of the smiles in Le Sentier, when Jérôme was announced as the CEO, you could power the lights in the city of Geneva for 2 years. Am I correct?
It's a beautiful way.
I want to talk about one of my favorite and most iconic watches that I can imagine. It is the marvelous Reverso. Now, it's funny because the zeitgeist today is all about shaped watches, and you have one of the most incomparable shaped watches, but it's also one that allows a unique sort of interactive relationship with the watch. Absolutely fantastic, and it is the Art Deco.
Yeah.
This Milanese bracelet attached to this stunning watch that's just under 8 mm in terms of thickness is a marvel. It's so elegant. Tell me about this.
You spoke from the Art Deco, and indeed it carries very well its name. It's a watch that plays, I would say, the tonality of gold between the dial, between the bracelet, between the case, between the grenet of the dial, the polish index, and the polished part of the case, and the reflection of the light in the Milanese. And that all different ways to capture the light and to reflect it gives this all tonality. It's not one and only expression, it's many tonality coming together. And finally, of course, I could tell you that there is 100 threads in that beautiful Milanese bracelet. I could tell you that this 100 thread, one after the other, it's 16 meters.
Wow.
So it gives you an idea. I could underline that you see this very nice shape, which costing us a lot of energy, but also that amazing buckle, so simple to adjust. So you open it, then you put your Milanese inside, like that, very simple. And then you just have to close. And when it's closed, it fits beautifully. So any way, you will be always at the size you want.
Yeah, that's the fantastic thing about this watch. You know, the old Milanese bracelets that were made in the 1950s and 60s, for example, where you had to go to a jeweler to have them hand cut. And the fact that you brought this level of ease of use is incredible. But this watch
and at the price of gold, the adjustment is a very nice gift.
Am I correct? It's 37,000 euro?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go on record. I really need one of these. So we need to talk because it's spectacular from a value proposition perspective. But this is the Reverso that is like expressed at the very highest level. It is like the Domine Romani Conti or like Coach Julie of Reversos, because if you look at the grenet pattern on this dial, it's so refined. Then every index is applied, but mirror polished to the highest quality. There's the most minute printing. The hands are so beautifully executed. I mean, this is iconic, right?
Thank you. And if you put it on your wrist, what you immediately discover it is that the Milanese come on your wrist like a second skin.
Yeah, that's
and it's the case because the watch is very thin,
Yeah.
Less than 8 mm for the watch, inclusive the case, and you see the proportion of the case itself. It's indeed what makes as well the Milanese very in somehow adapted to the watch itself. Because if not, and you see the line, it's perfect. If not, then it will be standing up. And if you have a large case with the Milanese, it's not adapted. The idea of the Milanese is the second skin.
Yes.
So the second skin has to sit on your wrist.
And it just flows effortlessly, following the ergonomics of the wrist in the most perfect way. Okay, let's go from this, which I think is the most beautiful, pure execution of the Reverso, to probably the most complex one, and that is the Gyro 4 Hybris Artistica, which is right here, and it's quite breathtaking to behold. Please tell us a little bit about this and what it represents in terms of Jaegier's incredible ambitiousness in watchmaking, because in 2004, that was my first visit to any manufacturer, was for the launch of the Jaeger-LeCoultre.
Thank you, Wei. And we're very pleased that we are part of your first. You said very nicely shape watches. The Reverso is very well known for a second element, which is the two faces. But what Reverso has also, it is in fact a true 3-dimension. It is the only really 3-dimensional watch. And you see what you discover here, which is also something that was with the quadriptych. It is, you see this lack in the depths of the brancard. It's just because when you watch the movement, we want to recreate that depth.
That's cool. That's fantastic.
And then the reflection of the lack and of the movement itself.
That's fantastic.
So it's only possible because of 3 dimensions. Right. It's not only one face, a second face, but that's that. And then, of course, the 3-dimensionality is that.
Yes.
It is the stunning move inside. And the adornment then with the enamel dial, you see here, that's enameling.
Yes.
You see the bridge, their decoration, their very nice chanfrein. All of these elements was incorporating as well the best of our craftsmanship to reveal, to enhance the gyro tourbillon art of the watch itself. If you know well gyro tourbillon, 1, 2, 3, here you see the gyro tourbillon case as being reduced to be adapted to the case.
Right.
But then what the watchmaker did at the manufacturer, they accelerated the speed of the second axis so that we keep the precision.
Right.
So that attention of maintaining the quest for precision while playing with the acceleration of the speed of the second axis is making it that very relevant.
So guys, what you're looking at here is there's 2 axes of rotation. One is 60 seconds, which there's actually a seconds hand attached to the aperture, to the exterior of the cage, which goes along a seconds track on the aperture of the tourbillon, which gives you a seconds indication. And you may say, do you actually need a seconds indication on the double axis tourbillon? Well, actually, you may go back to the legendary Concours International de Chronometrie, which was an open invitation for all watches to fight for precision. And in the first installment, Jaeger won 1 and 2. And number 2 was the gyro, number 1 was the master tourbillon,
exactly.
right? Which were both created under your auspices. So
Thank
that's
you.
incredible.
And then you see that attention to perfection is going as well to the other part of the watch, which are the accessory part, large scale skin, but also double skin, because then inside the complication of Jaeger-LeCoultre, you will see this double skin croco with smaller scale so that you can bend it in an easier way.
Look at the bridges of this watch as well. These are gold skeletonized bridges that are then inlaid with enamel. That's insane, guys, right? And then you have that with, of course, the legendary gyro tourbillon, the first series produced double axis tourbillon. And also, if you look at that, there's inside of there a spherical hairspring also, which was something that Jaeger brought to watchmaking. Any kind of description is really elegant, but you have this incredible visual richness there. And I think that's something very unique for Jaeger as well. But regardless, there's value there for what you get, right? It's the antithesis of the hype watch. It's a watch that has real integrity and real authenticity and real soul. So let's go from there to one of my favorite watches as well, the non-entième reverso with this beautiful enamel motif.
Yeah, it is. We have been playing on the beauty of having 2 faces of reverso. So on the first face, you have the grand date, the day and night indicator. And here, what you can see here, it is an absolute clear face.
Yes.
And then when you move to the other side, then you will see a jumping hours.
But it also has a day and night indicator here inlaid in the little motif right in the center of that dial underneath there. You have also a kind of digital display of sweeping, a digital display of the minutes on a disc, which I think is really cool. Then look at that extraordinary enameling that's done all around it as well, with the zodiac signs, I think, is what we're looking at. Yeah.
And then it's as well very interesting because here as well it's another way to play the 3-dimensionality of the reverso, because here you play here on 2 faces, but in the same time you will be playing on the inside part with the movement and the outside part with the case.
Fantastic. Yeah, well, actually, we see this also in the Geographic that was just launched as well, which I really, you're wearing it, okay. Which I really love. And so check this out. You know, this is one of the coolest ways to display the world time, right? So you've got on this side, you know, in Grand Date, on one plane, not 2 planes like some of our competitors from Germany. And then we've got this beautiful blue dial here in the 1931 configuration, minimalistic but pure. Then we go here, and we have this incredible display for the Geographic, which is integrated into the case, which actually takes advantage of the whole idea of having a back case, which is a platform for expression.
And one of the questions and requests that we had with the whole team was to be capable, in fact, to have the beauty of the world time directly visible, not behind a glass.
I love it. And guys, look at that. That's a hidden pusher here at 12 o'clock, right? Where you can actually adjust it, which is so cool. And no one would actually know where that is unless you were to show it to them, which I absolutely love. Absolutely spectacular. One last watch we should talk about is, of course, the minute repeater.
Yep.
So this is a showcase of your technology as well. I know you've got a Korean ambassador showing up, so we'll be fast about this. It's got gongs that are attached to the sapphire crystal, which allows sound to project through. You've got trebuchet hammers, which are, trebuchet means catapult, which are hinged and they have a little spring on them to create additional inertia when you're hitting the gongs as well. And you actually got gongs that are following the shape of the cases, such as the integrity of Jaeger-LeCoultre. Do you like that watch?
I like it as much as on top of that, the 953 movement is being caliber is being created for the watch.
Yes.
So, I mean, from the aesthetic part as well.
Yeah.
It's absolutely made to create as well aesthetically a perfect balance between the hammer, the position of the gong.
Okay, this is really important as well because we're talking about how shaped watches are, really the thing that everyone's thinking about too, but it's Jaeger that has the integrity to create every single movement to fit that, which follows the shape, whether it's at the highest level of mechanical complication or whether it's as pure and as my future watch.
Very nice.
I can only have one wife for the future, but I can have maybe multiple watches, and hopefully this is one of them. Jérôme, thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Peace, guys.
Merci.
Peace.
Ciao.